With the uncertainty of 2020 and how anime seasons were going to function for the foreseeable future, it's nice to start an anime and end them all within the same season once again. You enter summer 2020 with some returning bangers and new original ideas all clashing together for that anime of the season title. We're going to do things a tad differently this time around. Some of these anime I either haven't fully completed, or I might just have bigger plans for them with separate videos in the future, or there's actually a couple that I'm just, you know what, quick thoughts, that's all you need. So we're gonna speedrun a couple of these solid anime that I had quite a bit of fun with over this last season. Sword Art Online ended this season, and honestly if I look at it overall, I had some fun with this one, especially in a binge format. The best praise I could probably give this season is it actually has me excited for future seasons of the series again. No Gun's Life deserved way more love than it received, but maybe Best Gun Dad isn't as appealing as school settings or something, but goddamn does this series slap. Balance Unlimited is the definition of sexy and cool all wrapped up into one little package, and you can expect more thoughts on this in the near future. SNAFU's copyright hell waiting to murder me, but yes, it's a masterpiece, and yes, my full thoughts will come out in due time when I'm not scared of that copyright god. Great Pretender is one of this year's best with some of the best visual flair that knocked my socks off. I can't wait to do another big binge of this and review the series in full sometime in the future. You have wacky wild races that may have been pushed back due to the real world sucking the wrong kind of ass, but the return of this wacky insane fun time still remains to be wacky insane fun times, and what more can you really ask for? And Digimon is back and better than ever. It's a shame not more people are watching this, but after completing the first core I get it because this series is best viewed in a binge format. Now with that out of the way, let's return to the normal scheduled programming. Oh boy, I've said it once and I'll say it a million times again, this is a masterpiece. This isn't one of those series I got lucky at the start and the author quickly lost his touch. This actually got better every single episode over the first 13 episodes of season 2. And this isn't me exaggerating either. It got better every single episode. Subaru is one of the best written and developed characters in anime in my honest opinion. You can bitch and whine that he bitches and whines all you want, but when people can't share the burden of getting killed over and over again, not knowing how to save the ones you love and not able to share that burden with others, you should be a nutcase. And when you introduce all the wishes for him to sip bodily fluids with, it should be an emotional nightmare for sure. But ReZero isn't a show that hurts you non-stop. It gives you those heartwarming and optimistic moments to bring you back down so it can tear you down all the more. I had chills that legitimately scared me this season. A season where you're in one location for the most part. It actually had more twists and turns than anything this year, I'd go as far to say. This is how you write world and character building, and I need winter 2021 already for the next 12 episodes. Putting into words what makes Deca-Dence so remarkable to someone who's never seen it, as to not want to spoil it, is one of the most difficult tasks I've had in quite some time. The series uses twists and turns to lead the viewer into territory you never deemed possible, but rather than subverting expectations for no reason, it's doing so because that's where it always needed to go, you just had no idea. Anime fans are so used to easy to predict stories, where Deca-Dence slaps you in the face at episode 2 and every moment after that you truly have no idea what to expect. It's a sci-fi series that starts out with you saying, oh, this is going to be sort of like Attack on Titan, but not Attack on Titan, but quickly becomes Deca-Dence, and by the end, it has a beautiful conclusion that I couldn't ask for much more. Its production value is top notch, its writing is fantastic, and it truly left no stone unturned. It's as close to perfect as I think possible, and the worst you can really say is it might have needed one more episode to flesh out a few things towards the end. But otherwise, I really have no real complaints. Both lead characters hooked me in, and even when I thought I knew what was coming next, I really had no clue. Originality should be rewarded, and this is my biggest recommendation this season. One of the biggest surprises for me over the past year is a light novel Magic Academy anime adaptation that didn't blow smoke up its own ass. What I'm so used to seeing in 13 episodes was done in 3 in this series. Because of that, I actually witnessed 3 to 4 seasons of most Magic Academy anime in the span of a single core, and that's not because the pacing was off. In fact, for the first time in a long time, an anime like this had proper pacing. I'm so used to authors dicking around and dragging things out, either because they need to copy someone else's homework so they're waiting for them to finish, or they truly think they're crafting the next big blockbuster idea that needs to spend 20 chapters in the most generic setting possible. While there are a few bumps along the road towards the end of the reveals of the series, overall, the One Punch Man of Magic series did everything I wanted and has me dying for not one, but at least a couple more seasons. I like every main and supporting character in some way or another, and somehow the production felt top notch at every possible moment, even the generic standing still moments. Without a doubt, this is one of the year's most shocking surprises for me, and I actually highly recommend it. Fire Force Season 1 was a mixed bag for most. Myself, I really enjoyed it, but the quality towards the end of that first season was quite a few steps above what came before it. Some may have skipped out on Season 2 not knowing if it was going to put the emphasis on story or action, but I'm here to say they actually did both. They blast your ass off with better and better fights right out of the gate, while continuing to mess with my mind from unlikely alliances to killer story progression, with Shinra and the uncertainty of this evil cult trying to burn the earth down. This is truly the author's best work in my humble opinion at this point in time, and while it's not perfect, the second season is close to that label so far. The characters across the board are more intriguing and important to the plot. The gags are actually toned down quite a bit to let the serious side take priority, and while I'm definitely one of the last people who ever say to push through something you don't enjoy to get to better content, I do think there's something special here if you give it a shot. I truly feel that David Production is trying just as hard as they do with their JoJo adaptations, and that's saying a hell of a lot. This was the hardest anime to script for because I can't explain why it's so good. It's bad, but it's good. It makes you mad, but it also makes you laugh. It's every emotion wrapped up into one, and somehow with a name like this, they got me. At the start, I continued watching because the comedy was brilliant. When I thought I hated this loser shut-in of a main character who has to rent his girlfriends out to be around females, the comedy was always brilliantly written that it had me rolling. Yet somehow, and I say this 100% serious, they made me like him by the end. Friends of his who are cringe beyond words, but this man, Kazuya, is actually a decent guy with just too little experience and self-esteem holding him back. While the harem formula of everyone loves him is a little stale, there's a few relationships that truly matter and end up brewing in the later portion that made me actually care more about that drama than the comedy tag like I started out. Each girl who rents herself out actually had solid reason to do so. Lack of confidence, wanting to build self-esteem, building an acting career, wanting to love. It's silly, but because the series knows what it is, it never feels like it's baiting you in saying, we're gonna change. They say this is what you're going to get. A loner dude building confidence and trying to find love while lies continue to build around funny moments. It's dumb, it's cringy at times, but there's some heart, and somehow with a name like this, I actually enjoyed my time with it. The things I dislike about this series are what I also enjoy. So really, I have no idea what to claim this series as, but screw mommy and she should honestly burn. You can say what you want about the pacing and revelations that this story has going for it, but the production value alone in this series is remarkable. In some ways, I wonder if this was just proof to show anime fans Attack on Titan's final season is indeed in the correct hands. But jokes aside, I actually really enjoyed myself through and through, and while I get where most people are coming from with the pacing of how fast everything happens, there's a charm about the God of High School that really appealed to me. I'm the kind of guy who says go as crazy as you want. As long as everything actually makes sense by the end, I'm golden. It could take up to 5 seasons for everything that we just saw to make sense, and I'm fine with that as long as the production keeps me hooked in the meantime. This is getting more seasons, even a blind man can see that with how popular it is. So for now, I had my insane action and fun or scary characters to make me crave more, and hopefully season 2 will slow it down more than what we saw this time around. Adult life can suck, so this season of Aggretsuko does idle life and stalking, and goddamn does it get dark. I'll watch 10 seasons if they give me that much, but it's nice to see the will they won't they between Haida and Retsuko make some serious progression this time around. There's a charm about Fruits Basket that makes me appreciate it more with each passing episode, and how its author Natsuki Takia portrays abuse in a way that screams real. It's hard to nail abuse, especially in the anime medium, when authors are either trying to glorify it or simply they make a mockery out of the subject matter. But a series built around cursed people who are drawn to the god of the zodiac who makes their life hell as the main character Toru aims to heal all of them, but she also ignores herself on the process, is really a recipe for success. This screams passion, and with each arc you feel the pieces click more and more, and by the end of the season, my jaw was simply on the floor. To have classic series like this feel modern even years after its initial creation is a testament to how strong the writing is and how timeless it will always be. And it's clearly going to last the test of time when you consider how polished this anime version finally is. Overall, summer season looked solid at a distance, but with last season having delays after delays, I was a tad worried, I must admit. Thankfully, this season started very strong, and honestly, maybe even ended stronger than it started out as. So hopefully, next season with fall 2020 is going to keep up that trend, because honestly, summer definitely got this year back on track. Feel free to tell me your favorites from the season down below, and remember to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you happen to be new around here. There's also my Patreon for early access and textless thumbnail art if you so wish. So until next time everyone, please take care and have a good one.